Chapter 57. Lupe came over bright and early the next morning so we could get ready for the big match together. Mr. Antwall had called me even earlier in the morning to wish the team good luck. He also said that he'd seen the interview and was proud of me. You got here because you kept your eye on the ball and you didn't give up until you landed on prime time, he said. Thanks for helping me realize what sports are really about, I told him. Lupe and I put on matching red shirts just like Gao Hong and Su Wen were wearing. Then, with a white correction marker, we drew stripes like the Adidas logo. Lupe modeled her finished shirt in the mirror. So, what'd your mom say? I asked. She said, whatever I decided, we figure it out, and that she and my dad love me. Always. I took her hand and looked into her eyes. All of us loves you always. Lupe smiled. You think Ellie's going to like this, or will she think it's weird? She asked, pointing to her decorated shirt. Of course she's going to like it. Why pay for stripes when you have a whiteout marker? Lupe giggled. We then headed over to my dresser, where we searched for white scrunchies. We were wearing white socks, white shorts, and white scrunchies for Team USA. I looked into the mirror and smiled at the two halves of me, perfectly represented. Mom knocked on my door and called, Hurry up, the traffic's going to be horrendous. We gotta go, now. Coming. I grabbed my reporter's notebook and camera, and Lupe grabbed the water bottles. It was supposed to be 102 degrees that day. Outside, Hank was checking the air on his tires while Billy Bob was moving an icebox to his truck. He was wearing a red shirt too, with matching bright red athletic socks that went all the way to his thighs. I giggled. There was a double honk as Uncle Zhang and Aunt Ling's car rolled in. Everybody was here except Allie and Jason, who were meeting us at the stadium. You guys ready? Dad asked. Everyone nodded. Mom turned to Mrs. T, who'd agreed to stay behind to watch over the motel, and said, Remember, if anybody wants a room, make sure you get their IDs and a key deposit. I've got it. I've been practicing for when you guys stay at your house at night, Mrs. T said with a smile. Mom glanced at Dad. You guys still thinking about Maple Hills? Hank asked. My parents nodded. I know it's scary, but once you're in there, you're not even going to think about your neighbor, Hank said in his experienced homeowner voice. Can't let one narrow-minded guy stop you. Mom gave Hank a smile as she got into her car. Maybe Hank's right, Dad said as she drove. We should talk to an agent. We'd have to find another one willing to take us on, Mom said. And that's not so easy. I gazed out the window, mind spinning with things to do. Call real estate agents, call up Maple Hills. But I told myself I could do all that tomorrow. Today, I would cheer my heart out and celebrate the historic accomplishment that my two halves were playing each other at the World Cup. The closer we got to the Rose Bowl, the harder my chest thumped, until I could hardly stand it anymore. Turning into Rose Bowl parking lot, I pressed my nose up against the back window. Row after row of cars waited to get into the lot as 90,000 fans made their way to the stadium. I snapped a picture. Never in my entire life had I seen so many people all in one place before. Holy moly, Lupe cried, jumping out of the car. I spotted Jason getting dropped off by Mr. Yao and waved. Lupe's parents ran over towards us and joined their daughter. We all followed the crowd with Mom and Dad close behind us. This is so incredible, Jason said. I've never seen so many people at a game before, not even at a Lakers game on TV. When we got up to the gate, I saw most of the fans wearing white USA shirts. There were several guys carrying I Love You Mia Hamm posters that had lipstick marks on their foreheads. Ali and Lupe rolled their eyes. I looked around and saw American flags draped across several necks. The sight of the American flag always made my heart swell, and today was no exception. We spotted Hank and waved at the rest of the Weeklies and Uncle Zhang and Auntie Ling. As we waited for them to come over, a large congregation of people started chanting, USA, USA. I took another picture. Hank came over and we flashed our tickets. Started chanting, USA, USA. I took another picture. Hank came over and we flashed our tickets. Walking inside, we were shocked to find our seats were super close to the field. Best seats in the house, Hank clapped his hands. Then I noticed that a sizable number of people sat next to us wearing red shirts too. Many of them were Asian American, but Team China had white, black, and Latinx fans as well. They must have seen your interview, Hank said. You think so? Jose, Lupe's dad, nodded. They're rooting for the underdog. That's the power of telling a story, Hank smiled. My mom gazed at the fans, equally stunned, as the spectators around us waved the Chinese flag. I bumped her shoulder lightly with mine. See that, Mom? Not everyone wants to keep us out. Mom got up and started waving too. She didn't have a flag, so we waved the next best thing she had in her purse, a postcard of the Hella Vista. And in a way, that was sort of a flag, because it was a celebration of all of us, from all different colors and backgrounds, living together. Then the teams made their way onto the field and the fans went wild. I got up and started screaming along with the crowd, as I rooted for the half of me that rarely got any positive attention in this country. A swell of people behind me joined in. Go Team China, we shouted. I spotted Sue Wen running onto the field. I leaned forward and screamed the last line from her poem in Mandarin. Come on, girls, do not wait to follow your dreams, I cheered. I hoped Sue Wen's heart vibrated with the eager screams of so many girls who saw themselves out on the field for the first time forever. I hoped her legs would feel the strength of their hope. Most of all, I hoped her fingers tingled with the possibility and promise of what this moment meant for womankind. As the game kicked off, I could hear the adrenaline pounding in my ears.